Hello, I am Flash Isaac and welcome to Uniben Mathematics Post-UTME Questions and Answers Part 2. If you missed Part 1, simply rush down to go through that video, and if you are watching on YouTube, I've shared a link to Part 1 below. If you are watching somewhere else, rush to YouTube and search Flash Learners. From there, you'll be able to see Uniben Post-UTME Past Questions and Answers Part 1. Now, to make sure that you don't miss other videos, why not subscribe to this channel to be the first to get my helpful videos for your exams. Thank you, and let's proceed. The first question says, evaluate s raised to the power of 4 minus 3sy, given that s equals plus 2 and y equals minus 5. This is simply a substitution question. Given that s raised to the power of 4 minus 3sy, and we are told that s is equals to y is equals minus 5. So what you do, simply substitute the value of s into this expression and the value of y into this expression. So replace s with 2 and replace y with minus 5. Doing that, s raised to the power of 4 becomes 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 3. S is 2, so 2, and y becomes minus 5. You see, we've substituted. So let's solve. 2 raised to the power of 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which will give you 16, minus 3 times 2 is 6. Then this is minus 5. So this expression becomes 16 minus 6 times minus 5. Minus times minus is plus, so this will give you plus. 6 times 5 is 30. So 16 plus 30 is simply 46. So your answer is 46, and that's option B. Calculate the amount if 450 naira is invested for 1.5 years at 8% per annum. This is simply a compound interest question, and in compound interest, this is the formula to look for amounts. Amount is equals principal bracket 1 plus arrow over 100 raised to the power of n, because compound interest is simply amount minus principal. So given this is your amount, this is principal 1 plus this is rate, and this is the number of years, period. So in this question, we are looking for amount, and the principal or amount invested is 450. So 450 bracket 1 plus rate is 8%. So we have 8 over 100, and n is 1.5 years. So 1.5 years, converting this mixed fraction to improper fraction, you say 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is 3 over 2. So we can write this as raised to the power of 3 over 2. So this becomes 450. 1 plus LCM is 100. 100 divided by 1 is 100 times 1 is 100 plus 100 divided by 100 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. So 8, 3 over 2. So this is 450, 108 over 100, then 3 over 2. So simplifying this, according to my calculation, this will give you 505 naira, and it's not in the option. So unfortunately, there's no answer in the option. It happens in Uniben Post-UTME. You solve some questions and there's no answer. So what do? Probably leave the option blank. Simple as that. Evaluate 20% times 12.5%. So 20% is simply 20 over 100 times 12% is simply 12.5 over 100. And this is the same thing as 20 over 100 times 12.5 is the same thing as 125 over 10. So this is 125 over 10 times 100, that is 1000. And this one, will remove this quickly. This here can go into this to remain 50 times 125 over 100. So this is 125 over 5000. So 125 over 5000, breaking this down, this should give you 0.025. So multiplying, you get 0.025, and that's option A. For this question, Q naira is equals 100 Q kobo. So in that case, the number of cups to be bought is simply 100 Q over P, since Q naira is equals 100 Q kobo. So it's a very simple question. Just convert the naira to kobo and put here. So that is just it. In a class of 35 students, 19 takes history, 12 take economics. If 5 take both subjects, how many take neither? So we are looking for number of students that don't take history, they don't take economics. These are unserious students. They don't take any of the courses. Or maybe they are forming science students. That's their business. But let's solve this question. So this is obviously set question, and we know, and it's involving history and economics. So that means we have two sets of people. So drawing Venn diagram, we are drawing it for two sets of people, and this is how you draw that. If it's here for three set of people or things or objects, it becomes something like this. So in this Venn diagram, this is the universal set U also or E. It contains everything. So that's 35. So everything here is 35. That's the universal set. It contains everything in the other two sets. And this first set is for history. Let's history be H, and the second set before economics. So 12 students take economics and 19 takes history. So 12, 19. 5 takes both of them. So this is the intersection of the set. Those who take both. 5. And how many take neither? So the ones that don't take economics or history, they will just be here. Neither. These are the ones. So this is everything in the set. Now take a look at this question. It says in a class of 35 students, 19 take history. They didn't say 19 take only history. Did you get that line? They didn't say 19 take history only. It means out of those who take history, some also take economics and other stuff. And it also says 12 takes economics. They did not say 12 take economics only. So this is why once you add this, and this, it's more than 35. Which shouldn't be that. Everything should be equals 35. So in fact, 35 is equals everything here. Now, how do we know those who take history only and those who take economics only? It is very simple. If I remove this 5 that takes both subjects from those who take everything, it will remain those who take only economics. So 12 minus 5 is the number of those who take economics only. 19 minus 5 is the number of those who take history only. So why this one takes both of them? 19 minus 5 is 14. So those who take history only. 12 minus 5 is 7. Those who take economics only. Now, these are those who take everything, everybody in the class, 35. Those who take history alone, those who take economics alone, and those who take both of them. So this will be 21 plus 5, that's 26. So when you subtract everybody in the class minus those who take both courses, you'd have 9. So 9 takes neither. This takes only history, this takes only economics, and this guy takes both. If you add everything and subtract from everybody in the class, then what is remaining will be those unserious students that takes nothing. Looking at these two questions, it's simply under permutation and combination. Now, a lot of persons make these mistakes. When they see questions like this, they begin to think, how do I know whether it's combination and how do I know whether it's permutation? Now, if it has to do with selection or choosing, it is combination. Now, when it has to be with arrangement, it has to do with arrangement or sitting pattern, arrange or placement, it is permutation. Is permutation. Now, if I say that n combination arrow, it is simply equals n factorial over n minus arrow factorial and another arrow factorial. But if I say n permutation arrow, this is n factorial over n minus arrow factorial. That's all. There's no additional arrow there. So this is formula for combination and this is formula for permutation, like generally. And what does factorial mean? If I say 3 factorial, it simply means 3 times 2 times 1. That's what it means. If I say 7 factorial, 7 factorial simply means 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So if I say 100 factorial, it is simply 100 times 99 times 98. You keep multiplying till it gets to 1. This is what factorial is about. Now, let's look at this question. For a circle, like I told you, permutation is about arrangement. Now, while arranging in a circle, the number of arrangement is simply n minus 1 factorial. That's arrangement in a circle, because circle has 1 point. But when they give you something like bead, arranged in a bead or chain, for bead or chain, you see the bead has end, the end is tied, so it has 2 sides towards the end. In that case, the arrangement is n minus 1 factorial over 2 because it has 2 ends, but circle has 1 end, so it's n minus 1 factorial over 1. So with this, you should be able to solve a lot of permutation and combination questions. In how many ways can 9 women be seated at a round table without any restriction? And these are the options. Taking a look at this question, it's actually a circular question because a round table is circle. So this is a circular permutation and it's arrangement, sitting, arrangement, placement. I told you arrangement is permutation, while selection or choosing is combination. So for circle, I gave this formula for circular permutation. So the arrangement in the circle is simply n minus 1 factorial. And n is 9. We're talking about 9 women. So that is the number. The number of women is equals 9. So this is 9 minus 1 factorial, which is 8 factorial. And 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 1. You give your answer. But in the option, they didn't break it down. So we can't do what's in the option. We just stop here. So your answer is 8 factorial. How many different committees of 4 can be selected from 10? Now what can you see from here? Selection or choosing. And I told you selection or choosing has to do with combination. So we are choosing 4 out of 10. So this is 10, this is 4. In that case, we are having 10 combination 4. So this is the bigger one and this is the smaller one. And compare this to this. N combination R, 10 combination 4. So this implies that this 10 is taking the place of N, right? Then this 4 is taking the place of R, right? So which is equals N factorial, which is the one here. So here will be 10 factorial. So 10 factorial over bracket. We have bracket N minus R. So this is N, this is R. This is N, this is R. That means we have 10 minus 4. Bracket close, factorial, factorial. R factorial. R is 4. So 4 factorial. So we substituted into the combination equation. So we simplify now. So this is equals 10 factorial over 10 minus 4 is 6. So 6 factorial, 4 factorial. And 10 factorial is 10 times, this is, okay, let me break it down. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Then 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Then 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So having this, so 1 cancels 1, right? 2 cancels 2. 3 can cancel 3. 4 can cancel 4. Then 5 can cancel 5. 6 cancels 6. So we have the ones that have not cancelled yet. So let's bring out the ones that have not cancelled. That's 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. Then the ones that have not cancelled here is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So you can choose to break it down or just solve everything directly. If I cancel this 4 here now and cancel this 8, here will be 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2, right? So this 2 divided by this 2. So that means we've divided this and this. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. So this is 10 times 3 times 7. So this will give you 70 times 3. And everything should give you 2, 1, 10. So 2, 1, 10 is the answer. Okay, that reminds me. We did not use this formula for this permutation question. This is because this is a circular permutation. It's in circle. So we have to use formula for circle. And you just have one value, which is 9. There's no 2 values for you to do the permutation. So we can modify this question. If we change this question to, I thought permutation is arrangement. So if you are saying how many ways can we arrange, so in this case, this one is changing to arrangement. And arrangement or placement is now permutation. So when you have a permutation question like this, you simply apply the formula. N permutation R is equals N factorial over N minus R factorial. Then your N is now 10, while R is 4. It can be different value. They can even put 9 here. But no matter the values they give you, so long as it's arrangement or placement, it is permutation. Put the bigger one here and the smaller one here. So if you are going by 10, 4, this will be give you 10 permutation 4 is equals N is 10 factorial over 10 minus 4 factorial. So that is it. So there's no extra 4 factorial outside like we had in combination. So this makes permutation simpler. So you just solve, it will give you 10 factorial over 6 factorial. So which you can solve and get. 10 factorial is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 1 divided by 1, 2 divided by 2, 3 divided by 3, 4 divided by 4, 5. Okay, let's take a look at these questions. The first one says, if S varies inversely as Y, so that's a question under inverse variation. And inverse variation is represented this way. So S varies inversely as Y. That means S is inversely proportional to Y. And like I said in my previous variation question, I said that we don't solve with this proportionality symbol or variation symbol. We change it to equality sign. While doing that, we introduce a constant. So we'll try to say that, okay, this one is the same thing as equals K constant. So converting this, S is equals K 1 over Y, which is equals K over Y. So S equals K over Y. Now, they said when S is equals 2 over 3, Y is equals 9. So instead of S, we substitute 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 is equals K over Y. That's 9. K over 9. So cross multiplying this, 2 times 9 is equals K times 3. 18 is equals 3K. K is equals 18 over 3. That's your value for K. Now, we are asked for the value of Y when S is equals 3 over 4. Now, this is the relationship between Y and S. If S is equals K over Y, it therefore means that Y is equals K over S, which is the same thing as K divided by S. And we already have our K, which is 18 over 3. 18 over 3 divided by S. And we are now asked to take S as 3 over 4. We are no longer using the old S because we are looking for the new value of Y. So that's 3 over 4. This is division. To make calculation easier, we can change this division to multiplication. When you do that, this gets inverted. 4 goes up, 3 comes down. This division becomes multiplication. That's how you change division to multiplication. So we have 18 over 3 times 4 now over 3. So this will give you 18 times 4 over 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm doing all this to break it down so that you'll be able to solve it without calculator. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2. So this will be left with 2 times 4 over 1, which is equals 8. So Y is equals 8 when S is equals 3 over 4. So the answer is 8. Convert this to base 10. Now, these are the options. Converting to base 10 is very easy. Yes. The steps is this. You bring out the values. This is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, base 2. So you have to count to make sure that it's complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 into 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 0. So look at what you do. This is the value and it is base 2. Now, multiply every number here by 2. As you multiply, you add. As you multiply, you add. Look at it. Pick this 1 and say 1 times 2 plus you move to the second one. Pick this second one and multiply by 2. 1 times 2 plus, take this third one, 1, and multiply by 2 plus, take this fourth one times 2, take this fifth one plus the fifth one, 1 times 2 plus, take this 0 times 2 times 2. So we've multiplied every value here by 2. After doing that, come to this last 2 that we are multiplying by. So after this times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So starting from the last 2, come here, put 0. The next times 2 on top here, put 1. The next times 2 on top, put 2. The next times 2 on top here, put 3. On top here, 4. On top here, 5. If here were to be 3, to convert in base 3, base 4, 5, 6, any number to base 10, you follow the same procedure. You multiply each of the value, no matter what is here. If it's 1, 7, 8, 6, anything, multiply each of them by what is here, the base. After that, then you begin to increase the power. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and until you get to the last one. So now that we've done this, we'll start to break it down. Here I'll give you 1 times 2 raised to the power of 5 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that should give you 32. Plus 2 raised to the power of 4 is 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16. So this is 1 times 16. You can put it in bracket if it will make you get what you are doing more. It's optional. So plus 1 times 8 plus 1 times 4 plus 1 times 2 plus 0 times 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. So 0 times 1. So 1 times 32 is 32. Plus 1 times 16 is 16. Plus 1 times 8 is 8. Plus 1 times 4 is 4. Plus 1 times 2 is 2. Plus 0 times 1 is 0. So add everything here. Which should give you 32 plus 16. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14 plus 14. So adding this and this will give you 46. 46 plus 16 should give you 62. So this is 62 in base 10. And the correct option is option C. The 29th term of the sequence 3, 8, 13, 18 is what? So this is the first term, this is the second term, fourth term, fifth term. So this sequence continues. So what will now be the 29th term? So the sequence is 3, 8, 13, and 18. So this is first, second, 3, 4. And before we solve the nth term, we need to know whether this sequence is arithmetic progression or geometric progression. If the second term minus first term is the same thing as third term minus second term, and the same thing as fourth term minus third term, it means that it is arithmetic progression. That's AP. Similarly, if second term divided by first term is the same thing as third term divided by second term, and it's the same thing as fourth term divided by the third term, that means if you divide, you are getting the same value, then it is geometric progression. That's GP. So now let's look at it. 8 minus 3 is 5. 13 minus 8 is 5. 18 minus 13 is 5. But 8 divided by 3 is not the same thing as 13 divided by 8. No. Because this value will give you more than 1. This one is, this will give you more than 2. This is not up to 2. So it's not a geometric sequence. It is an arithmetic sequence. So for arithmetic sequence, nth term is equals a plus n minus 1 d. That's the formula to calculate nth term for an arithmetic progression. This is the term you are looking for. This is your first term. This number of terms we want in the question. This is the common difference. Common difference is what you get when you subtract this from this and this from this. So 8 minus 3 is 5. 13 minus 8 is 5. So we've gotten common difference to be equals 5. The first term is the first number, so which is a. So a is equals 3. So we've gotten all the things we want. So the nth term, we are looking for the 29th term. So T29, which is the 29th term, is equals a 3 plus n. N is the number we are looking for, the term, so which is 29. 29th term minus 1 times the common difference, 5. So this is equals 3 plus 28 times 5. So this is equals 3 plus 5 times 8 is 40. Put down 0, carry 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14, 140. 3 plus 140 is 143. So the 29th term is 143, and that's option D. So take a look at it. Okay, take a look at this question. It says, calculate the simple interest on 20,000 naira in 2 years at a rate of 13% per annum. So this is a simple interest question, question star. These are the options for question star. Then this is question star star, and these are the options. Simple interest. Simple interest is simply principal times rate times time over 100. Now, the simple interest on 20,000 naira. So that's the principal. P is equals 20,000 naira. Then time T is equals to 2 years at a rate of 13% per annum. So 13% per year. 13% or 13 over 100. So this 100 is already compensating for the percentage. You simply substitute into the formula and get your answer. So simple interest is equals principal 20,000 times rate 13 times time 2 all over 100. So dividing, this cancels this, 200 times 2, that is 400 times 13, which is equals 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 4 is 12. Then 1 times 0 will give you 0, 1 times 0 will give you 0, 1 times 4 is 4. This is 4. So adding, you have 0, 0, 2, 5. So that's 5,200. 5,200 is the simple interest. So, and that will give you option A, 5,200. So let's see the next question. A company had a sale of English t-shirts sold at 15% discount. Okay. Ojo purchased a shirt for 76.5 naira. What was the original selling price? Now, they say that the t-shirts are being sold at a discount. That means 15 over 100. So that is that for part 2. Quickly rush to check out my part 3 videos, or check the description below for part 3 of my UTME questions and answers. Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe.